So today, today is December 13th, 2013, and today is also the first day that I have not cried, which is a good thing. But one other thing that I wanted to mention is that Coop went with me in my car everywhere. She was always in my car with me. And one thing that continues to happen is that every time I get in the car, I expect to see her in the back. And so I always look behind this seat to see if she's there. And then other times I can envision her putting her head on the seat to see me, like she used to do. This hasn't made me cry, but it's made me smile, and it makes me realize how much love I had for her and how important she was in my life and how she filled my life so much. It's really amazing. So yeah, I was in the car missing Coop, which is it's very typical for her to be in the car, so the car is a very big trigger for me. One of the other things I wanted to mention that I have found very helpful is that Coop had two spots in the house that she really liked to sleep in. One was between two bedrooms, where I think she tried to position herself to maybe protect the house between the two people sleeping in the house. So I thought that was interesting. And another spot was in the middle of the house by the fireplace. And one of the things I was thinking about, or that has been difficult, excuse me, I was still catching up on my sleep, is that I have put other things in place of where Coop used to lay. So I picked up the beds, took them out of the way because I kept staring at the beds every time I'd pass through the room, and because her bed was there, I expected her to be laying there. And so that was very difficult for me to see the beds in there. But when I swapped out the beds, like in one of the spots in front of the fireplace, I moved a rocking chair. And so now in front of the fireplace, there's a rocking chair. And it's definitely less painful. Oh, definitely less painful for me to see the rocking chair there than to see her bed and her not laying there. So perhaps that's something that you could try if you're, grieving the loss of a pet. And then in the other spot, I took and put my camera gear because I love photography and I love film. And, I thought, why not have something that I love very much replace something else that I love very much? So in the spot where she used to sleep between the two rooms, I have placed my photography gear. And this is definitely very helpful. I've gone to this gear a few times to get, items that I needed for a shoot or whatever. And I found that very helpful because now in my brain, I'm associating that spot, I'm starting to associate that spot with going to get my gear or going to sit down in front of the fireplace, and rock in the chair. So I'm training my brain to respond differently. Not that I'm trying to forget Coop or I don't want to, remember her, but it's so incredibly painful right now. I mean, I still have to go to work. I still have to, be part of a public scene and all that. And so for me, it's easier to process my grief on a more higher level, not a higher level. I don't want to say shallow level because I'm definitely not on a shallow level with this. I mean, for the first, the 8th, the 9th, 10th, and the 11th. I cried solid for like 4 days. I mean, solid. Not to mention when the day I put her down. I mean, you would think, it was like primal crying. I was so in distress. It was unreal. So anyways, I cried very solidly for the first 4 days. And now it's more memories, and now I'm kind of, trying to move on and move things into her place, and ease my pain, and take care of myself. And I found those things to be very helpful, placing other objects and reclaiming that space. I'll never forget that she used to lay there. There's no way I could ever forget that. But it's definitely making it easier. So that's just an idea of something you may want to try. There's an association that I have found to be very helpful. A number of links on their website, and they also hold chats each night from 8 to 10, generally, East Coast time. It's called the Association for Pet Loss and Bereavement. So APLB.org. APLB.org. It's very well put together. There's a wealth of information there. And I have found it very helpful. And I plan on, in fact, tonight, if I get back home before 10 p.m., I'm planning on getting in on that chat, because I think it's going to be very helpful. And then they also have a spot where you can get into a chat room about anticipatory bereavement, like if you're expecting your pet, to die, or maybe you're expecting to put your pet down. And that was something I wish I would have known before Coop, but I didn't. I found out after. Maybe that's how it was supposed to be. I don't know. They have a quality of life scale on there that I found very helpful. That's that. There's a mechanism that will help a dog with hip dysplasia get up and walk much easier. It's more for the owner, definitely, than I guess it's for both, really, because it helps the pet. But man, do I wish I would have had that when I was trying to help Coop up, because as I was picking her up, she winced a few times, and she's never really cried out like that, she was like, "Arr, arr." And so then I felt so bad, and I was thinking, I wish that I would have seen this thing, when she was having trouble getting up, because I could have certainly used it. And I believe the name of the product is called Help 'em Up, HELPEMUP, maybe .com, helpemup.com, and it's for hip dysplasia, and it's a harness that helps them stand up. But what a great invention. I'll definitely use it in the future for my future dogs when they get old. Anyway, wanted to share those things with you. Hope those are helpful.